So I want to start by maybe wishing every single person here a really, really great happy holidays or happy day, depending on when you are watching this, because in today's video, what we're really going to be talking about is going to be about 5 financial goals or New Year's resolutions that you can potentially set for the coming new year. Now, it's very possible that you can technically set these goals at any time throughout the entire year. You can set these. That's why I kind of started to mention happy holidays, but also happy day, because the reality is that you can set these even in the beginning of the year, you can set these in the middle of the year, you can set these at the end of the year, but obviously some people just need a timestamp or a specific milestone that they can kind of call like the reset button, which for many people happens to be the new year, which is when they set a lot of New Year's resolutions. But in today's video, as the title suggests, is we're going to be talking about 5 financial goals or New Year's resolutions that you should potentially really consider if you're trying to get your money on track, if you're very enthusiastic about personal finance, keeping track of your money, everything in that world, making more money, or anything in that particular world that you should potentially set in the coming year. So with that being said, let's just get this video right started. But as always, if you guys enjoy videos like this, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. And with that being said, let's get this video rolling and started. So the first financial goal that you should really consider setting yourself up for the next year coming into 2024, or if you're watching this in the future, 2025, 6, 7, 8, you can set this at any time, is going to be to pay off all of your debt. Now, this one actually is really interesting, because the reality is we obviously know that in this country, there's billions of dollars of debt that is floating around all over our country. But the idea is, obviously you're not going to pay off every single debt depending on the kind of debt that you owe. So for example, if you are in debt of several $100,000 in a mortgage, most people are probably not going to be able to pay off their entire mortgage in a single year. But for other smaller kinds of debt, such as like credit card, you maybe can potentially set a goal so that you can pay off your credit card debt every single month in its entirety, so you don't have to carry on that debt going forward. So this is something that's really nice. There's also some more subtle, a little bit more expensive than credit cards, but still not like as expensive as your mortgage kind of related debt, such as like your auto loans, student loans that you can potentially look into paying off. These are just some goals that you can potentially set for yourself in the following coming year. Now, the next goal that we can really look into is going to be everything related to contributing to your retirement account. Now, with retirement account, this is one of those things that you should have this as a goal every single year. There is obviously a max amount of money you can contribute to your Roth IRA every single year, typically about $6,000, $6,500. But the idea really behind it is that although it's true that there's a maximum amount of money that you can contribute to your retirement account, it does not mean that you can at least set a goal to think about how much money you hope to grow your retirement account to become. So maybe, for example, you contribute $6,000 to your Roth IRA. You can also set it as a goal. Maybe one of the goals that you can set is that you want to potentially try to grow that $6,000 into $7,000 or into $8,000. $8,000 would be a $2,000 increase, would be about a 30% something increase. The average amount of percent that the stock market moves up every single year is typically between 5 to 10%. That tends to be the average. So 30% is still a little bit ambitious, but it doesn't maybe discredit the fact that you can still set it as a goal to maybe have something to kind of strive for. You might not get there, but you hopefully will at least be able to go as far as you possibly can on your journey to try and attempt to get there. And I think that's probably the important thing, really. So, debt and the retirement account. Now, the next goal is one of those things that you actually can very much set a goal for yourself to grow, and it happens to be your investing goals. Now, every single person obviously has a different set amount of money they have to be able to contribute into their regular brokerage account when it comes to investing in things like stocks, index funds, mutual funds, ETFs, and everything in that world. But the idea really is that you want to set some kind of goal based off of the income that you're currently making, to maybe say, oh, one of the goals that you can give as an example is that you're going to contribute $1,000 every single month to your regular brokerage account, and maybe you hope to potentially try to grow that investment account by maybe about 10%. And I say maybe because every single person obviously has a very, very different goal. For some people, it's a little bit more ambitious. Other people, it's a little bit more humble and stable. It also depends a lot on your age. It depends on your goals. It depends on your life situation. Do you even have money to invest? Because I know some people might be financially strapped, so it's a lot more difficult to invest. I had that situation during the recession because I also, was a little bit tight when it came to money, so I didn't have as much money to invest. But for people that do have the power to do this, this is something to definitely consider looking into. This is actually especially particularly true, and we've talked about this in a past video, which I'll probably link at the very end screen, which is literally called Some Great News for Our Economy. We talked a lot about how one of the really, really great news that's expected to come up is that next year is expected to have a much better economy than this year. Obviously, again, nobody knows what the future is going to hold, but the reasoning and logic behind this is because right now, this particular year in 2023, or last year if you're watching this in 2024, but in the year of 2023, we suffered a lot of tragedies inside of our economy. We had a very rough job market. We had a recession going on by some people's definitions, because again, everyone defined recession differently, but by some people's definition, we had a recession going on. We had interest rate hikes. We had a struggling stock market for most of the first part of this year. So next year, it's expected that we are going to start to see a lot of reversals now, from based off of the news, based off of predictions, and even just based off of logic. It makes sense why. If they start to cut interest rates again, then businesses can hopefully start to flourish again. And if businesses start to flourish again, it's going to create a lot more productivity and a lot more opportunity so that people can really develop and grow their money, grow their money a lot better. So if that ends up becoming the case, we are expected to see a really, really good stock market in the coming year. And if this becomes the case, it means it's time to invest. And I think that this is going to be a really, really golden opportunity that you don't want to miss if you are trying to make some relative amount of money, or set yourself up to make a relative amount of money in the near coming future. Now, the next thing is going to be something that is going to be maybe an extension of what we just mentioned, but another goal that you could potentially have is to find a new job. If you are unemployed right now, it might be time to try to look for a new job. But even if you actually happen to be employed, it may not be necessarily a bad idea to try to look for a new job anyway, so that you can potentially progress in your particular current career wherever you stand. The idea really behind this is that people need change, people need more money, people need a breath of fresh air sometimes. And so looking for a new job is going to be the answer potentially to a lot of people's setbacks or difficulties or things that they're just not fully satisfied with when it comes to their career and their career life, or their working life in general. This is actually even more especially true because next year we are expected to see an even better job market. Now, I did make a video recently titled Some Great News About Unemployment in Our Job Market. I'll put that video at the very, very end screen, but that video, what it really talks about is that it talks a lot about the state of our economy right now, and it goes into even greater detail, if you need something cheerful to watch, about why our economy is expected to recover, and not just recover, but why we are expected to have a much, much better job market after a lot of the tragedies that happened in 2023, why 2024 is expected to finally be a lot better, and we're able to hopefully finally now see a reversal to everything that happened in the previous year, 2023. So that's really the big idea behind this. And then the last financial goal that you should really consider setting for yourself is going to be one of the biggest core goals that I know a lot of people are going to have, but it goes without saying that we should put it out there anyway, and it's going to be to increase your income. It's an extension of the last goal, because if you do find a new job, it's very probable that maybe that new job is going to be that increase in income. But there's also a lot of other ways you can potentially increase your income as well. You can start a side hustle, you can get a part-time job, you can grow your investments, you can create some passive income, you can start a business of some kind, you can start to freelance, or you can start to grow the current career that you're currently in. These are just some ideas to really throw out there that you can potentially look into. But of course, what you end up doing, maybe you end up doing a combination of all of these, which is really, really awesome. You know, maybe you do end up paying off your debt, growing your investment, growing your retirement, finding a new job, and increasing your income. But the idea is to just start to take action and really get the ball rolling. And I think this is going to hopefully set yourself up for a much better year to really maximize the coming 2024, or this particular year if you're already watching this in 2024. So that being said, that's what I really wanted to cover in today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that, comment what you guys think. I'll put some videos at the end screen you can watch after this video that talks about our economy, talking about some great news. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay well, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.